Hi, it's the middle of October, so I thought I'd have a quick catch up, and I give you that is my TBR pile. These are all the books that I have collected in charity shops in the past year or so, and they're all waiting to be read. There's all sorts there. So what have I read in October so far? I've read the Travelling Cat Chronicles by Hiro Arikawa. I found this so emotional. Oh, I did. Satoru has taken in this little feral cat Nana. He coaxed him in when he was hit by a car, and 5 years later they're both together, and Satoru needs to rehome Nana. Excuse me, I've been for a long walk, so I'm a bit sniffly still because of the change of temperature. And he's finding a home for Nana. We don't know why until the end, and it is so sad. It really is sad. And you hear Nana's perspective as well. Then I also read, when I find it, Cold Enough for Snow. This has been on my radar for absolutely ages. I'd heard so many good things about it 2 or 3 years ago, and I'd never picked it up. And then I thought, it's about time I did. And this is gorgeous, and it's understated. Mother and daughter go to Japan to reconnect. And there's a sense of loneliness in the daughter. I don't know, this sort of conversations unfinished. They visit art galleries. The daughter gets lost in sort of like a dream-like qualities of paintings, and she wishes that her mother felt the same sort of things that she was feeling. She talks about how art and writing can be changed, and you can't trust anything because painters will paint over the first image and leave something underneath, and writers can also change things. I came away with a sense of loneliness in that one. When I sort of stuck this on the video up on my channel, I said that I wondered whether the mother was a ghost, whether these were her daughters wanting to get close to her mother after her death, and this is why we don't hear the mother's voice. And other people came up with different perspectives. But isn't that the beauty of books, that we all take something different away from it? I mean, I'm probably totally wrong, but I don't mind. That's what I took away from the book. And everybody takes different things away. But I just came away with this huge sense of loneliness. I also read, let me find it. A Jason Reynolds, 24 Seconds From Now. This came out on the 8th of October. And I really, really enjoyed this. This is a teen romance from a boy's perspective. Neon and his girlfriend are planning on having sex for the first time. And it goes back, 24 seconds from now, he's got to leave the bathroom. And then it goes back 24 minutes, 24 hours, 24 days, and it's looking at their relationship. And he is such a caring, wonderful person. There's so much respect and love in him. And it's a safe relationship. He treats his girlfriend with total respect and love. It's almost a book that shows boys it's okay to care. You don't have to be this sort of macho. There doesn't have to be this toxic masculinity everywhere. It's okay to care. And I thought it was a super book for boys to show them that, what you are allowed to do. Then I back to the cats again. The Ghost Cat by Alex Howard. I spotted this in a bookshop, and so I got it on Audible. And it's the idea that a cat has 9 lives, and 3 to stay, 3 to stray, and 3 to play. And Grimalkin is in sort of back in sort of 1902. He goes 1902, 1935, 1945. Also, I've jumbled it up. Grimalkin dies, but he's only had one life. Yeah, this is a book that made me cry in the first chapter. It made me cry in the first chapter. And the cat god gives him his 8 other lives. He becomes a ghost cat and he skips decades. And you have his thoughts as he's in the house that he lived. He sees this house change through the decades. He sees society change. He sees technology change. You have his thoughts about everything that's going on. He covers sort of the coronation. He covers the death of the Queen. He covers the moon landings. Things like that. You get it's good. It's a cute little read. It's okay. It's a cute little read. It's just an interesting perspective on cats. Then I've read Jodi Picoult's new one. I didn't write down in this when it comes out. It's sometime in October. It might already be out now. It might not. I don't know. I can't remember because I didn't write it down. And it's called By Any Other Name. And it's looking at the life of Amelia Bassano, who is in some circles believed to be the Dark Lady of Shakespeare's sonnets, and also in some circles believed to be a writer of Shakespeare's plays. Melina Green, Mel, she's an ancestor of Amelia, and she writes a play about Amelia, who was the mistress of the Lord Chamberlain. At 13, she writes plays which she gives to this in the story that Mel tells us. Amelia was this mistress, which is documented on Wikipedia. She writes plays which she gives to Shakespeare. She falls in love with Southampton. She writes this play about Amelia's life. And you've got the contrast with Amelia isn't able to get her work published because she's a woman in that time when women couldn't even act. And Amelia and Mel finds it difficult to get her plays published because of women, because she's a female. And it's still almost the theatre is still almost patriarchal. So you've got the two women trying to get their plays published. I preferred Amelia's story. I much preferred Amelia's story. There was more depth to it than Mel's. And if the book had been all about Amelia, I'd have been quite happy. But that came out. It's either out now or it's coming out. I can't remember. I'll stick it down in the description box below. Then I read another arc, and this one did come out on the 1st of October, and it's called Invisible Kitties by Yu Yo-Yo. And it's almost a love story to cats. Lots of little small vignettes about cats and what they do. The author and her husband have a cat that they call Cat, and then a kitten that they call Kitten. And it's observations about what these two animals do. And as someone who's had cats, I can see the things that my cats used to do in this. And of course, and she adds magical realism as well. It is a love story to cats. That's quite a sweet little book. Then I moved on to a translation from the Korean, The Trunk by Kim Rae-yong. I expect I've pronounced that one wrong, and I apologise. It's described as a Korean thriller. Now, I wouldn't have said that it was a thriller. It's almost this is almost dystopian feel about it. Inji's a field wife, so she gets a field wife for this company NM, which is part of Wedding and Life, and people can contract to have a wife for a year. People who for some reason marriage doesn't work, or they've had failed marriages, or they want marriage for for status, sort of they have to be seen to be married. So they contract and hire a wife for a year. And this is what she is. And it's a wife in all senses of the word. She is a wife. She does everything that a wife does. It's almost like a glorified prostitution, in my mind anyway. But she enjoys it because it gives her the freedom. It gives her freedom. It gives her freedom to push boundaries, push her body, go to different places. Every year she has a different husband, and it wipes the slate clean and can sort of almost reinvent herself. It's very rare for a husband to request her for a second year, but this husband, who is referred to as husband, does. And she gets to know him a little bit more. He's a man who's driven by impulses totally. And then there's an episode with a stalker as well, which reveals a much darker side to the company. That was an interesting read, that one. And then the final one that I read this month, this was translated from the Japanese, and this comes out on the 24th of October. And it's called Gifted by Suzumi Suzuki. And it's a mother-daughter thing again. And you've got the daughter who's a hostess in Japan in the nightclub scene, and a mother who's dying. The mother did spend a few days with her daughter, but now she's in like a hospice hospital. And the daughter is looking back on her life with the mum. She left home to... There's cruelty there, cruelty from the mother. She left home and she became a hostess in a nightclub, and you learn a little bit about the life of hostesses. And she learns more about her mother when she bumps into somebody at the hospital who knew her mother when she was younger. And there's lots of things about the day-to-day life that she leads, the nightlife that she leads with the clubs, the roles of hosts and hostesses. And if you're looking for a sort of deathbed reconciliation, there isn't one. But it's looking back on the life and trying to get some understanding. So those were the books that I read the first half of this month. I've quite a varied selection. So far, my book of the month, it is a tie between 24 Seconds From Now, the Jason Reynolds, and Too Cold for Snow. But I think I'm going to go for Too Cold for Snow. What's that what it was called? Oh, my mind goes sometimes. What was it? No, Cold Enough for Snow, not Too Cold for Snow. Cold Enough for Snow. I think I'm going for that one. Because the language was beautiful. And there's this dreamlike quality. And there's this emotions and the atmosphere in there. And the way that so much is said in so few words. So that is my book for the first half of the month. And we'll see what I get up to as we approach Halloween. So, happy reading. Take care.